Hello there, my friend. I'm Dr. Michael Reed, and I'm 60 years old. First of all, thank you for spending a few minutes here with me today. At this age, I know many of us have had those long, restless nights, lying awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering, why has sleep become so difficult? In over 3 decades of working in adult health, especially with people over 50, I've met hundreds of patients who've told me the same thing. They don't want another sleeping pill. They just want to fall asleep naturally, peacefully, and wake up feeling rested again. And today I want to share something with you. A simple, natural trick that most people have never heard of. Drinking diluted onion juice before bed. I know it sounds a little strange, doesn't it? But stay with me, because sometimes the simplest things bring the most surprising results. All you need is 1 to 2 teaspoons of fresh onion juice mixed with about half a cup of warm water. Drink it 20 to 30 minutes before going to bed. Many people notice a real difference after just a few nights. One of my patients, Helen, she's 67, told me this after trying it. "Doctor, I don't know if it's the onions or what, but after the 3rd night I slept straight through until morning. I can't remember the last time I woke up feeling this clear." You see, onions aren't just something we throw into a pan. They're rich in quercetin, a natural compound that helps reduce cortisol, the stress hormone that keeps your mind racing at night. When cortisol levels drop, your body can produce more melatonin, the hormone that helps you fall asleep naturally. Onions also help stabilize blood sugar overnight, something many people overlook. When your blood sugar spikes or drops too much while you're sleeping, your body tends to wake you up suddenly. That's one reason why so many older adults find themselves awake at 2 or 3 a.m. without knowing why. I often tell my patients, sometimes sleeping better isn't about doing more. It's about helping your body remember how to rest. So tonight, before you go to bed, I want you to try this. Make yourself a small, warm cup of diluted onion juice. Sit quietly for a few minutes. Feel the gentle warmth moving down your throat, into your chest, into your belly. Notice your breathing slowing down, your mind beginning to quiet. And then when you finally lie down, you might find that sleep comes softly, almost like a deep sigh. Now, I'm not saying this is magic, but I've seen it work again and again for people who thought they'd never sleep well again. Sometimes the answer isn't a stronger pill. It's a little patience, a little kindness toward your body, and maybe, just maybe, a warm cup of onion water before bed. You can try this for 3 nights in a row and then come back here and tell me how you feel. I'd really love to hear how your sleep has changed. You know, there's something most people forget. Sleep isn't just about the body. It's about the mind, too. I once had a patient named Richard. He was 72. Physically, he was healthy. No major illnesses, no serious issues, but every night his mind just wouldn't stop spinning. Unpaid bills, unfinished chores, the memories of his late wife. He once told me, "Doctor, I'm not tired because of work. I'm tired because my mind won't rest." That's when I suggested something simple. Add a little onion to his dinner or drink a small cup of diluted onion juice before bed. It might surprise you, but onions contain flavonoids and saponins, 2 natural compounds that gently calm the nervous system. They work like a soft breeze over a restless lake, soothing the ripples until the surface grows still again. These compounds help reduce overactivity in the central nervous system, making it easier for your body to relax and drift toward rest. They also help lower anxiety, stabilize your heart rate, and signal to your body, it's time to rest now. After about 2 weeks, Richard came back to my office with a smile and said, "Dr. Reed, I'm not sure if it's the onions or just me learning to calm my mind, but lately I fall asleep before I even realize it." I smiled and told him, maybe it's both. When the mind feels at peace, the body remembers how to sleep. You see, onions aren't some kind of magic cure, but they are a gentle friend to your nervous system. They don't just help you sleep, they help you find a sense of calm in a noisy, busy world. So if you often feel tense, anxious, or lost in thought before bed, try adding a little onion to your evening meal, or sip a warm glass of diluted onion juice before turning off the lights. As your body feels that warmth, that light sweetness, and that familiar scent, your nervous system starts to settle. And sometimes that's all it takes for peace to return. Tell me, have you ever had nights like that? When the whole world is quiet, yet your mind feels like a city that never sleeps? If so, I'd love to hear your story in the comments below. Let me know if onions help you the way they've helped so many others find their way back to peaceful rest. Because sometimes the secret to a good night's sleep isn't found in expensive pills, but in the natural, simple, and loving things we do for ourselves. You might smile when you hear this. But yes, placing an onion under your pillow can actually help you sleep better. I still remember the first time I saw my mother do it. I was just a young boy. She would slice half an onion, place it in a small bowl, and set it beside the bed. The room would fill with that familiar scent. A little sharp, a little spicy, yet somehow deeply comforting. Years later, when I became a doctor, I realized she had been right all along. Onions contain natural sulfur compounds and essential oils that help purify the air, keep mosquitoes away, and create a sense of calm breathing. For many older adults who struggle with breathing issues or feel stuffy at night, the mild scent of onion can help open up the airways and make the room feel fresher. I often tell my patients, not everything that heals needs electricity or medicine. Sometimes all you need is an onion and a quiet room. One of my patients, a 65-year-old woman named Linda, once told me that she places an onion under her pillow whenever she feels stressed. She said, "Doctor, I don't know why, but when I smell that onion, I feel peaceful. It reminds me of my grandmother's home. No TV, no phones, just the sound of the wind and that gentle onion scent." And I understood exactly what she meant. Some scents carry memories, and those memories calm our minds more than we realize. When you slice half a fresh onion, place it in a clean bowl beside your bed and replace it every 3 to 5 days, you're not just following an old folk remedy. You're creating a healthy, peaceful sleeping space. The onion helps filter the air, discourages bacteria and insects, and most importantly, brings you back to simplicity, to a time when sleep wasn't something we had to chase. So tonight, try this. Turn off the lights, lie down, feel your breathing slow, and let the faint aroma of onion drift through your room. The silence surrounds you, and for a moment, the world feels still. Sleep comes softly, like a gentle breeze, and when you wake up, you'll feel clearer, calmer, as if your whole being has quietly reset overnight. Try it tonight. It costs nothing, it's safe, and all it takes is a little curiosity and a bit of trust in nature. And who knows, maybe after just a few nights you'll realize something. The secret to deep, restful sleep doesn't lie in technology or medication, but in the natural calm we create for ourselves. When I say that onions can support your heart and help you sleep more deeply, people often look surprised. They ask me, "Doctor, how can such a small onion possibly do anything for the heart?" The answer is, yes, it can, and even more than you might imagine. Onions contain natural sulfur compounds that gently dilate blood vessels, improve circulation, and help maintain steady blood pressure throughout the night. When your circulatory system flows smoothly, your brain and body receive enough oxygen, allowing you to fall into a deeper, more restorative sleep. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night for no clear reason? Sometimes that happens because the heart is working too hard, or blood flow is uneven, causing your brain to sense a lack of oxygen. And so, it wakes you up. I once had a patient named George, 72 years old, who had suffered from insomnia for years because his heart would race every time he lay down. He avoided coffee, skipped late meals, yet he still tossed and turned each night. After some tests, I suggested he simply add some cooked onion to his dinner. Not much, just half an onion a day. 3 weeks later, George returned to my office with a gentle smile. "Doctor," he said, "I can sleep again. My heart beats slower, steadier, and I don't wake up in the middle of the night anymore." Science supports this as well. A compound in onions called quercetin, a natural flavonoid, helps reduce inflammation in blood vessels, improves their elasticity, and stabilizes heart rhythm, all of which are especially important for those over 60. When your blood flows well, your body doesn't just sleep better, it heals better. Every cell receives nourishment, every organ recharges. And when morning comes, you don't just feel rested, you feel clear-headed, refreshed, and lighter in spirit. I often remind my older patients, good sleep doesn't come only from a peaceful mind, but also from a healthy heart. And the humble onion, that simple ingredient sitting quietly in your kitchen, is one of nature's small gifts to help protect both. You can try it tonight. Add a little onion to your dinner, perhaps in a light soup or a stir-fry with vegetables. Let your body feel the warmth, the calm, and the quiet strength that comes from within. Maybe after just a few nights, you'll notice something remarkable. The deepest sleep doesn't come from sleeping pills. It comes from the natural harmony between your heartbeat, your breath, and the quiet peace within your mind. You know, for me, dinner has always been the most sacred time of the day, not just because it's when we finally sit down after a long day, but because it's when the body begins to prepare for its most important phase, sleep. And if you choose the right foods, you can help your body relax naturally. No medication, no effort, just balance. One of the simplest tips I often share with my older patients is this: add a little onion to your dinner. Just 30 to 50 grams of raw onion or one small cooked onion can make a real difference. When eaten in the evening, onions gently stimulate digestion, reduce bloating, and help the stomach work more smoothly. And when your digestive system rests properly, your brain can also let go and drift into deep restorative sleep. I once met a gentleman named Henry, 68 years old, who had struggled with sleepless nights for years. He told me, "I've tried everything, doctor. Chamomile tea, melatonin, you name it, but I still toss and turn." I suggested he make one small change, add a bit of cooked onion to his dinner instead of avoiding it completely. A week later, he came back smiling, saying, "I can't believe one small onion could help me sleep this well." You see, small changes can make a big difference, especially for bodies that become more sensitive with age. For those with a weak stomach or acid reflux, I always recommend eating onions cooked rather than raw. When cooked, onions retain most of their beneficial nutrients, like flavonoids and saponins, but become much easier to digest. The gentle sweetness of cooked onion also makes meals feel warmer, more comforting, delicious yet kind to your body. Just imagine, after dinner your stomach feels calm, your body feels light, no bloating, no heaviness. You lie down, take a deep breath, and feel that comfort spreading quietly through your whole body. Sleep comes softly, like a breeze. No effort, no pills. And what's even more beautiful is this: many people find that after just a few nights of this simple habit, they sleep deeper, wake clearer, and feel more peaceful than they have in years. You see, onions aren't just a kitchen ingredient. They're a quiet companion that helps your body relax, keeps your heart steady, and gently restores the natural rhythm of your sleep. I often tell my patients over 60, sometimes good health doesn't come from complicated things. It's right there in your own kitchen. You just have to trust it and give it a try. So tonight, as you prepare your dinner, try adding a bit of onion to your soup, stir-fry, or salad. Who knows? Just a few days from now, you might find yourself not only eating better, but also sleeping deeper and waking up lighter than ever before. When I was a child, my mother used to place a small jar of onions near my bed whenever I had a stuffy nose or trouble sleeping. Back then, I didn't understand why. I only remember that gentle onion scent in the night, calming and comforting, helping me drift off without realizing it. Years later, when I became a doctor and studied sleep more deeply, I discovered that my mother's folk remedy had real science behind it. Onions contain natural sulfur compounds and flavonoids, especially quercetin, a powerful antioxidant known for reducing inflammation, calming the nervous system, and soothing the body's stress response. When onions are crushed, these compounds are released into the air, creating a mild, natural aroma that can open airways, purify the air, and signal the brain to relax. You can try this simple method at home. Take half an onion, peel it, crush it gently, and place it in a clean glass jar. Set the jar on your bedside table and leave the lid open for about 30 minutes before bedtime. As you lie down, the light aroma fills the room, helping you breathe more easily and clear your mind of racing thoughts. Some people worry that the smell might be too strong, but if you use a small amount and choose mild white or young yellow onions, the scent will be soft and pleasant. And after a few minutes, your senses adjust. Instead of finding it unpleasant, you may begin to feel a quiet warmth and sense of safety that only natural scents can bring. If you want to enhance the calming effect, you can add 1 or 2 drops of lavender or peppermint essential oil to the jar. This combination creates a gentle, refreshing aroma that relaxes the nervous system and purifies the air, especially helpful during colder months or on nights when you feel tired or heavy-headed. According to a small study published in the Journal of Natural Remedies, inhaling the natural compounds released from onions for a short time can lower heart rate, reduce cortisol levels, the stress hormone, and increase natural sleepiness. This is especially meaningful for older adults since the body gradually produces less melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep, as we age. By using onions this way, you're helping your body reawaken its own natural relaxation response, instead of relying on sleeping pills or artificial aids. It's a safe, sustainable, and truly gentle approach, perfectly suited for those of us over 50. Many of my patients have tried this simple method, and quite a few told me they started sleeping better after just 2 or 3 nights. One of my patients, a 67-year-old woman from Texas, once said to me, "Dr. Reed, I never thought a small jar of onions could make such a difference. I used to wake up in the middle of the night, but now I sleep straight through for 6 hours. I wake up feeling light and clear-headed." Of course, this isn't a miracle cure for everyone, but it can be an important part of a healthy nighttime routine, along with having a light dinner, avoiding caffeine after 2 p.m., and turning off electronic devices at least 30 minutes before bed. When you practice these simple habits together, your body naturally learns how to rest again, and your sleep becomes deeper and more restorative with each passing night. If you live in a dry climate or sleep with the air conditioner on, onions can even help keep the air moist and reduce bacteria. The natural sulfur compounds in onions have mild antibacterial properties, which can help ease sneezing, nasal congestion, or minor allergy symptoms that often interfere with sleep. Just remember one small thing: replace the onion jar every 2 or 3 days for the best effect. And don't throw away the leftover onion. You can easily use it in your breakfast the next morning. Nothing goes to waste. Sometimes the simplest remedies bring the most surprising results. This everyday kitchen ingredient, the humble onion, can truly become your nighttime companion. Because good sleep doesn't always come from pills or technology. It often comes from listening to your body and returning to the simple, natural wisdom our grandparents lived by. So if you find yourself restless tonight, try placing a small jar of crushed onion by your bedside. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and feel the warmth spreading gently through your chest. And perhaps within just a few minutes, you'll drift into a peaceful sleep, one that not only rests your body but also heals your mind. I often tell my patients, sometimes to sleep well, you don't need to add anything new. You just need to help your body remember how to do what it already knows. And one of the most precious things our bodies know how to create are serotonin and melatonin, 2 key hormones that regulate both mood and sleep. When we're young, our bodies produce these hormones naturally and consistently. We laugh more easily, relax more deeply, and fall asleep without effort. But after age 50, that process begins to slow down. Stress, lack of movement, exposure to blue light from screens, and poor diet all reduce the production of serotonin and melatonin. The result? Trouble falling asleep, irritability, and waking up in the middle of the night. That's where the humble onion, a simple yet biologically rich food, can help your body restore its natural rhythm without medication. Onions contain tryptophan, an essential amino acid that your body uses to make serotonin, the happiness hormone. Serotonin helps you feel calm and balanced during the day, and it's also the building block your body uses to produce melatonin at night, the hormone that brings deep, continuous sleep. When you eat onions in the evening, and especially lightly cooked or steamed onions, your body can absorb tryptophan more efficiently. This helps increase serotonin levels during the day and melatonin at night, supporting your natural sleep-wake cycle in the most gentle and natural way possible. In addition, quercetin, a powerful antioxidant compound found in onions, helps protect nerve cells from oxidative stress, which is one of the leading causes of poor sleep quality in older adults. Simply put, quercetin helps the brain calm down, reduces overstimulation, and supports your body in transitioning more easily into a restful state. A study published in the Journal of Food Biochemistry found that a diet including onions for just 4 weeks improved deep sleep duration by an average of 15 to 20% among adults over 55. This suggests that the natural compounds in onions can actually influence the neuroendocrine system, helping to balance the body's sleep hormones without any side effects. I once had a patient named Linda, a 62-year-old woman from California. She had struggled with insomnia for years. I suggested she try adding onions to her dinner, about 50 grams of lightly cooked onions with greens and a small portion of salmon. After 2 weeks, she returned to my office with a bright smile. "Dr. Reed," she said, "I don't know if it's really the onions, but I've been sleeping 7 hours straight every night. I wake up with such a clear head, I don't even need my morning coffee anymore." I smiled and replied, "It's not magic, Linda. It's simply your body remembering how to return to its natural rhythm." The way onions work is fascinating. When eaten in the evening, they gently lower blood sugar levels, preventing the body from releasing too much insulin, a process that can interfere with melatonin production. Onions also contain vitamin B6, an essential nutrient that helps convert tryptophan into serotonin. In other words, onions not only provide the raw materials, but also the tools your body needs to produce the hormones that regulate sleep smoothly. Furthermore, onions can help relieve mild muscle tension and lower heart rate by activating the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's rest and recovery mode. When this system is engaged, you begin to feel relaxed, your heart rate slows, and your breathing deepens. All signs that your body is preparing to drift into sleep. A small nightly habit I often recommend to my patients includes eating a small amount of cooked onion with dinner, ideally about 3 hours before bedtime. Dimming bright lights and avoiding blue light exposure to allow your body to start producing melatonin naturally. If possible, diffusing a few drops of onion essential oil or placing a small jar of crushed onion near your bedside to enhance relaxation. When you combine all three, diet, sleep environment, and light control, your body gradually resets its internal rhythm, much like a symphony returning to its original harmony. Onions may seem ordinary, but they're actually a remarkable circadian food. They don't make you fall asleep instantly like medication does, but they help rebuild the foundation for long-term restorative sleep. Over time, you'll find yourself sleeping more deeply, waking up refreshed, and, most importantly, feeling calmer and more balanced throughout the day. I've always believed that the true miracle of health doesn't come from expensive pills, but from returning to nature, from listening to our bodies and nurturing them with the simplest, most natural things. And the humble onion sitting quietly in our kitchen can teach us that very lesson. That to sleep well, we must first learn to let both our body and mind relax, to move together in harmony with the gentle rhythm of nature. One of my favorite combinations, and one I often recommend to my patients, is onion paired with magnesium-rich foods. Magnesium is a wonderful mineral. I like to call it the mineral of calm. It helps relax the muscles, stabilize the nervous system, and quiet an overactive mind, all crucial factors that allow the body to drift into deep, restorative sleep. Onions, as you already know, contain quercetin, a compound with anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and calming properties. When you combine magnesium and quercetin, you create a natural duo that helps your body lower cortisol levels, ease tension, and prepare for sleep more smoothly. I remember a patient named Tom, 66 years old, who came to see me after months of severe insomnia. He had tried everything: chamomile tea, melatonin supplements, breathing exercises, yet he couldn't sleep for more than 3 hours a night. After talking with him, I realized that his dinners were nutritionally poor, mostly white bread and cold cuts with almost no minerals or fiber. So I suggested he try a new evening meal: A warm bowl of oatmeal cooked with lightly sautéed onions, topped with a handful of roasted pumpkin seeds and a few slices of ripe banana. It might sound unusual, but after just 5 days, Tom called me and said, "Dr. Reed, for the first time in months, I slept straight through from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. No waking up, no grogginess." I smiled, because I knew exactly what had happened. The magnesium from the pumpkin seeds and bananas had helped his muscles relax, while the quercetin in the onions soothed his nerves and lowered his heart rate. Together, these two elements guided his nervous system into its natural rest and repair mode, gently lulling his body into sleep. Many scientific studies have confirmed this connection. According to the National Sleep Foundation, people with low magnesium levels often struggle to fall asleep and tend to wake frequently during the night. Conversely, those who increase their natural magnesium intake, especially when combined with flavonoids like quercetin, experience significantly longer deep sleep and up to 30% reduction in stress levels. Now, I want you to picture this for a moment. After a long day, you prepare your dinner. On the table sits a warm bowl of oatmeal, the sweet aroma of gently sautéed onions rising with the steam. You sprinkle a few roasted pumpkin seeds and lay a couple of banana slices on top. You take a deep breath, feel the calmness spreading through your body as you taste the natural sweetness. Your muscles loosen, your shoulders drop, and later, when you lie down in bed, your breathing becomes slower, softer, as if your entire being is being gently rocked to sleep. That's the quiet magic of nature. When simple ingredients work together in harmony, your body remembers how to rest, how to heal, and how to sleep. Naturally. That's not an illusion. It's your body responding to the natural harmony between onion and magnesium, a very real biological reaction. Quercetin works to calm your nerve cells, while magnesium opens up ion channels within muscle cells, allowing them to relax and reduce tension. At the same time, your parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your body responsible for rest and sleep, begins to activate. Simply put, onions help the mind relax, and magnesium helps the body relax. And when both work together, you can drift into a deeper, more natural sleep without relying on medication or artificial supplements. Here are a few magnesium-rich foods I often recommend for the evening. Pumpkin seeds, just a small handful, about 30 grams, provides nearly 40% of your daily magnesium needs. Oats, rich in magnesium, fiber, and beta-glucan, which helps stabilize nighttime blood sugar levels. Bananas not only provide magnesium but also contain tryptophan, which helps produce serotonin and promotes relaxation. You can combine onions with these foods in simple, flexible ways. Baked onions with banana and honey, a light, soothing dessert that's easy on the stomach. Oatmeal with sautéed onions and pumpkin seeds, warm, heart-friendly, and perfect for winding down. Or simply stir-fry onions with greens and sprinkle pumpkin seeds on top for a quick, nutritious dinner. If you keep this routine for about 7 to 10 days, your body will begin to reset its internal rhythm. You'll notice yourself getting sleepy earlier in the evening, staying asleep longer through the night, and waking up feeling lighter, more refreshed. Many people still ask me, "Dr. Reed, can a few onions and some pumpkin seeds really help me sleep better?" I usually smile and say, the human body was designed to heal itself, as long as you give it the right conditions. And sometimes those conditions are as simple as onions and a little magnesium. Believe me, your body knows more than you think. It just needs a bit of help, a nourishing dinner, a deep breath, and a calm, quiet space. When you bring those things together, sleep will return like an old friend, gently, naturally, and peacefully. After years of working with adults over 50, I've learned one thing. Sometimes the simplest, most natural remedies, like an onion, can bring the most remarkable improvements in sleep. But along with these benefits, there are always a few precautions to keep in mind to make sure you're using them safely and effectively. I've met many patients who get genuinely excited when they hear that onions can help calm the nerves and improve sleep. They start eating onions every night. Some even go as far as drinking pure onion juice, without considering whether their bodies can actually handle it. After just a few days, they come back to me complaining of bloating, burning sensations, or indigestion. I still remember one patient, Linda, 68 years old. She gave me a weary smile and said, "Dr. Reed, I thought onions were a miracle cure, but they just kept me up all night with acid reflux." I gently told her, "Linda, onions are wonderful, but they're not for everyone. After 60, our bodies become more sensitive, so how we use them and how much we use makes all the difference." 1. Know your body's limits. If you've ever had gastritis, irritable bowel syndrome, or frequent heartburn, onions, especially raw ones, can be too harsh. The sulfur compounds in onions have natural antibacterial properties, but they also stimulate the stomach to produce more acid. For those with sensitive digestion, this can lead to acid reflux or burning discomfort. So if you fall into this group, here's what I recommend. Eat only well-cooked onions. Never eat them on an empty stomach. Start with a very small amount and observe how your body reacts over a few days. Sometimes just half a cooked onion mixed into vegetables or soup is enough to gain the flavonoid benefits without upsetting your stomach. 2. Allergies and medication interactions. Most people don't realize this, but onion allergies, though rare, do exist. If you experience itchy throat, nausea, skin rash, or mild breathing discomfort after eating or even smelling onions, stop immediately and see a doctor. These are possible signs of an allergic reaction. Another important note, onions contain natural sulfur compounds that can slightly thin the blood, much like garlic does. If you're taking blood-thinning medications, such as warfarin, clopidogrel, or high-dose aspirin, eating large amounts of onion can increase your risk of bruising or internal bleeding. I once had a patient named George, 72, who was on warfarin. After watching a video about the benefits of onions, he started drinking onion juice every night. Within a week, he noticed unexplained bruises on his arms, and his blood test showed a clear change in clotting time. That's why I always say, even though something is natural, it doesn't mean it's harmless. If you're on any kind of medication, especially those affecting blood pressure, heart health, or clotting, always consult your doctor before adding foods with strong biological activity, even something as common as onions. 3. Use the right amount. Less is more. I often tell my patients even the best food is like sunlight. Just enough brings life, but too much can burn. Onions are a perfect example of this. Eating about 30 to 50 grams of raw onion a day, roughly half of a small bulb, or one cooked onion is a safe and beneficial amount. But if you double or triple that amount, especially in the evening, you may experience bloating, acid reflux, or mild diarrhea. What truly matters is consistency, not quantity. A little onion each day combined with a balanced diet and a regular sleep schedule will do far more good than trying to make up for it by eating a large amount once in a while. 4. Always choose fresh, clean onions. It sounds obvious, but this is something many people overlook. Onions easily absorb moisture and bacteria, especially once they've been cut and left exposed to air. A bulb that's soft, sprouting, or smells unusual may already contain harmful microbes that can upset your digestive system. So remember too, always use firm, mold-free onions. Avoid keeping cut onions for more than 24 hours, especially in humid environments. Rinse them well and let them dry before cooking. I've seen people place old onions under their pillows or in jars near the bed, thinking the smell helps them sleep, when in fact, it can become a breeding ground for mold. What they thought was the natural onion scent was actually airborne bacteria. If you use onions in these ways, replace them every 3 to 5 days with a fresh one, as I mentioned in earlier parts. 5. Listen to your body. I've always believed that our bodies are the best teachers. Whenever you eat something, drink something, or even smell something, your body responds instantly. If you feel warm, calm, and relaxed, that's a good sign. But if you feel bloated, heavy, or restless, that's your body's gentle way of saying, "This isn't right for me," or "not right now." Learning to recognize those signals is the first step toward balance, and ultimately toward better sleep and better health. Listen, and gently adjust. Natural sleep never comes from force. It comes from balance. between your mind, your body, and the small habits that quietly shape your evenings. Finally, I want you to remember this. There's no magical food that makes you sleep well overnight. But if you choose the right foods in the right amount and truly listen to your body will know how to find its way back to rest. So if you wish to use onion as a gentle friend to support your sleep, do it with understanding and respect for your body. A bit of cooked onion at dinner, a calm sleeping space, and a peaceful mind. Sometimes that's all it takes to rediscover those restful nights you once knew. Now I want you to imagine this with me. Night has fallen. The room is quiet. You've just placed your book on the table, turned off the main light, and only a soft glow from your bedside lamp remains. You take a slow, deep breath in and gently exhale. The fatigue of the day begins to melt away. That very moment, when the mind and body slowly shift from awake to resting, that's when sleep begins to find you, naturally and effortlessly. I've met countless patients over 50 who tell me, "Doctor, I've taken all the pills, tried all the remedies, but I still can't sleep." And when we talk a bit more, I often discover something simple. Their minds are still noisy when they go to bed. The TV is still on, the phone still glowing, their thoughts still racing through the worries of the day. Have you ever found yourself like that? Sleep isn't a switch you flip on and off. It's a slow transition, a quiet journey that begins the moment you let your mind soften and your body feels safe enough to let go. That's why before trying any sleep aid, whether it's onion, essential oils, or herbal tea, you need to give your body a signal that says, "It's time to rest now." I often guide my patients to start with 3 minutes of stillness before bed. Turn off the TV, put your phone away, dim the lights, then sit or lie down comfortably. Place one hand on your chest, the other on your belly, and take a deep breath in through your nose. Feel your belly rise as the air fills your lungs. Then exhale slowly through your mouth. Do this 5 or 6 times. You'll feel your heartbeat slow, your mind grow lighter, and your body begin to remember what peace before sleep truly feels like. At this point, when you begin applying natural methods, like using onion to support your sleep, their effects will multiply. I've witnessed this dozens of times in my own practice. One of my patients, a 68-year-old woman, had struggled with chronic insomnia for years. She tried everything: sleeping pills, relaxation music, even an essential oil diffuser. But it wasn't until I suggested she combine a calming bedtime routine, turning off the TV, taking deep breaths, and allowing her mind to settle, together with a simple onion-based sleep remedy, that her nights began to change. After just a week, she smiled and told me, "Dr. Reed, I can't even remember the last time I slept this well." You see, as we age, especially after 50, our bodies become more sensitive to stress. When we worry too much, our cortisol, the stress hormone, rises in the evening. And when cortisol goes up, melatonin, the sleep hormone, goes down. That's why calming the mind before bed is so important. Once you're relaxed, your breathing steady, your heartbeat slower, that's when the onion can truly work its magic, easing tension, improving circulation, and helping regulate sleep hormones naturally. Think of preparing for sleep as a gentle nightly ritual. Maybe it's 10 quiet minutes in the dark, a cup of warm tea, a drop of lavender oil, or simply a soft whisper to yourself, "I've done my best today. Now it's time to rest." When your mind fully accepts that truth, sleep arrives effortlessly. Remember this: there's no deep sleep if your mind is still awake. You can eat onion, drink warm milk, or listen to meditation music. But if your thoughts are still spinning, your sleep will remain light and restless. Only when you take time to truly relax and create a peaceful space will your body recognize the signal to rest and naturally release melatonin. I often tell my patients, treat the 30 minutes before bed as sacred time, just for you. No work, no news, no worrying about tomorrow. Simply return to the present moment, your breath, your body, your sense of peace. When you reach that state, every sleep aid, from onion to herbal tea to breathing exercises, becomes twice, even 3 times more effective. So please, don't underestimate this step. Tonight, before you sleep, give yourself a few minutes to truly unwind. Turn off the lights, take a deep breath, drop your shoulders, let go of every thought. Then, as you place that small jar of crushed onion near your bed or sip a warm drink with a touch of onion extract, you'll notice your body welcoming it more deeply, more gently, as if you and sleep were finally speaking the same language. And the next morning, when the first rays of sunlight slip through your curtains, you'll wake, not out of exhaustion or frustration, but with a quiet smile, because your body has finally truly rested. That, right there, is the power of relaxation. Simple, natural, and lasting. And onions, together with a peaceful mind, can become one of your most faithful companions for restful sleep in midlife. I want you to pause for a moment and really think about this. We've just taken quite a journey together. From those humble onions in your kitchen, to the quiet moments before bed, to learning how to listen, truly listen, to your own body and mind. Sleep is not just another part of the day, it's a gift your body gives you. To recover, to heal, and to wake up ready to live fully again tomorrow. So if tonight you decide to do just one small thing, maybe drink a warm cup of onion-infused water, take one deep, mindful breath before bed, or simply turn off your phone 10 minutes earlier, then you've already taken the first step toward giving yourself the rest you truly deserve. I believe each of us has our own little secret for better sleep. Maybe it's a scent, maybe it's a song, maybe it's a small bedtime ritual that quietly tells your body it's time to rest now. And I would truly love to hear your story. Please share your experience in the comments below, because your words might help someone else out there finally enjoy their first peaceful night after years of restless sleep. Thank you so much for staying with me. I'm Dr. Michael Reed. I wish you a calm, restorative night. And if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to give it a like and subscribe, because every week I'll be right here with you talking about health, sleep, and the art of living more peacefully after 50. See you in the next video.